So let's just get right into tonight's episode of NXT. It started with Julia and Stephanie Vacker going up against the Meta Girls, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Once again, Julia and Stephanie weren't going to lose. It was pretty obvious, but I'm excited to what they're building towards with them because we once again got a tease after the match of Julia going against Stephanie Vacker because both of them want to be the Iron Survivor for the women. Now this match, it's not happening anytime soon. They're probably saving it for Stand and Deliver, which is NXT's equivalent of WrestleMania. So if this match is going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen there. Just like Jordan Grace versus Delta, but that's another story for another day. But I'm wondering what we're doing with Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Because for a while, they've been on the main roster, and now they're back. And I really like them on the main roster. They brought a different energy there on SmackDown. So I want to see them there because I don't think there's anything left for them here on NXT. But maybe this is just their final send-off. Or maybe they'll just be on their main roster post Royal Rumble like Tiffany Stratton was last year or this year. But who knows? I don't want to see them on NXT anymore. But Julia versus Stephanie Vacker, I love the teases and I'm excited towards this eventual feud we're going to get because it's definitely happening. Then we have the first Women's Iron Survivor qualifier. So Ruka comes back and she defeats Cora Jade. I'm happy with this result. I don't like how we haven't given Cora any momentum at all. But having Soruka win, this makes sense to me. She's been gone for a while. Or not gone. We haven't done anything relevant with her. And I really like her. I think she has so much potential. I just want to see more of her. She's one of those girls that just has so much energy to her and that you just want to see on your screen. So I'm happy she gets this victory. She's going to do amazing. Hell, I might think she could possibly be a winner. I don't know who's going to be in it, but Soruka should probably be high up in who you're betting to win. Then after that, we had a men's qualifier, Cedric Alexander versus Wesley. And this was a pretty predictable one. Wesley obviously wins. We're going to have another qualifier later, which makes these two make sense. But Wesley wins. Cedric Alexander is probably doing some of the best work of his career here in NXT. I know he's been part of the Hurt Business and he was a Cruiserweight champion once, but he was never interesting. There was never a character to him. And he has a character now, and it's not anything special. He's just like a mentor to some of the younger guys backstage, but at least it's a character that's semi-interesting. And he has lots of big matches. He had a tag team championship match recently. Now he had this qualifier match. He's being given a spotlight, and that's better than anything he's ever done before. But Wesley winning, it makes sense. I'm excited to see. I don't think he's going to win. I think there's a lot of better options to win, but I'm excited to see what we're doing with him and how we're progressing this feud with Javon Evans. Then Tony D'Angelo's in his restaurant, and then Sean Spears and Josh Briggs come in, and we're going to have this rivalry. I can't say I'm excited about this at all. Sean Spears' return has been a complete failure to me because he came in being pretty interesting, but right now, I still don't feel anything, and it's been, 6 months? I just want to see Tony D'Angelo beat him and then move on to someone new because, again, this is nothing interesting happening here at all. Hell, even Brooks Jensen, who's aligned with Sean Spears, you had a lot of interesting stuff going with Brooks Jensen. That whole thing of him being fired or not being given time and he kept invading the shows, that was actually interesting and had me thinking that we're actually going to do something with him, something interesting, and we just ended up not doing that. He's just a lackey for Sean Spears. I just think everything to do with that is a failure and it just gives off very bland vibes. Then Trick Williams is in the ring. He's talking about last week and Andre Chase comes out and so does Ridge Holland, and it moves away from a Trick segment and it moves towards a Andre Chase and Ridge Holland segment. Both of them want a shot at the NXT Championship, while Andre Chase wants a rematch against Ridge Holland, which would eventually lead to him getting an NXT title match. Ridge is just no, but he's like, I'll face you, Andre, but if I win, you have to stop having any connection with Chase U. And then Chase accepts. And I don't know what's going to happen here because I don't think Chase University has any way forward without Andre Chase. I think that's very much his thing. And I personally said, I think Chase U should be something that remains in NXT forever. Because I think if you look in 20 years and you can be like, hey, Thea Hale is a women's world champion on the main roster. Duke Hudson is a United States champion. And maybe some other wrestlers who have also risen the ranks. And you can be like, hey, all of these guys are Chase U alumni from NXT. I thought that was a very cool idea. But Andre Chase is not going to beat Ridge Holland. And if he beats Ridge Holland, like, I don't see Andre Chase versus Trick Williams being an interesting world title match whatsoever. So I have no clue what's gonna happen here, but at least it's interesting. But I don't think either result is gonna lead to anything good. So I don't really like this at all. I don't feel like this is doing anything effective. But we do get a Chase U backstage segment in a bit, and they're all, every member of Chase U, Thea, Duke, and Riley, they're all being like, I don't know what you're doing, man, Andre. This isn't a good decision. He's just like, it's high risk but high reward. I'm just like, I don't think this is a good decision. Just don't do this. It's not worth it. But okay, I'm gonna let it play out, but I don't think this is a good decision. Then we have Nikita Lyons versus Adriana Rizzo. Just a match to end this mini rivalry. And I'm just gonna go off topic. I love this, like, the depth of the women's division. Because we can have a match like this which is inconsequential to any major rivalries or any major titles, and it still feels like it has an impact on the rest of the show. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully the main roster, especially with the Women's United States Championship now, can eventually have that level of depth. But we'll see. Again, Nikita Lyons ends up winning, which is good. I like that we're pushing her still. But after the match, Adriana Rizzo grabs a crowbar and she attacks Nikita. I don't know if this feud is done, but it should be. I don't want to stretch this out too much because it doesn't feel like there is actual necessary heat to continue it. But like most things, I'm going to give it a chance because I like both of these girls and I want to see them succeed. Javon Evans then defeats Lexis King in another Iron Survivor qualifier match, which I'm happy about, and we're more likely going to see the Javon Evans-Wesley rivalry continue into the Iron Survivor match, which is good. But after the match, Javon Evans and Lexis King embrace. I'm enjoying this Lexis King face turn, but I want to see more progression of it, because this seems a bit weird that Lexis King has been an asshole, but all of a sudden Javon Evans is just like, yeah, we're cool, man. It doesn't feel very in character for anyone. But again, I'm happy with Javon Evans winning, and I kind of hope he wins the whole thing, especially since there's not a lot of high quality babyface talent that's going to be in this match. So I want to see him win. He's my pick. And then in the main event, we had Kalani Jordan versus Fallon Henley, a rematch for the Women's North American Championship. It was a fine match. I kind of hoped for more out of it, but at the end, Fallon Henley retains with some help from Fatal Influence, and Kalani Jordan loses. Well, duh, she lost. Fallon Henley won. What am I even saying? Now, I don't know what we're going to do with Kalani Jordan going forward. It doesn't feel like she's at that level of Julia, Stephanie, Delta, and like Jordan Grace all going after the Women's World Championship with Roxanne Perez. But if all of those girls are going to be busy feuding with each other, we might see Kalani Jordan be the next NXT Women's Champion. I just don't know if it's too soon after losing the North American Championship. But yeah, and then for Fatal Influence, they need something to happen for them, whether that's a gear change, but they look so basic. They feel so uninteresting. But I will say, I am buying into Fallon Henley as a North American champion. Originally, I said I didn't care about it, but now I've changed my opinion because in reality, the Women's North American Championship is a belt for the women who are not going to be NXT Women's Champion like ever, or they're simply rising. Now, Fallon Henley is never going to hold the NXT Women's Championship. She's not on the level of those top girls. But the Women's North American Championship, that's very much on her level, and that's why she's holding it. So yeah, I am buying into this now. So that's my review for NXT tonight. And if I have to give it a rating, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I liked some stuff on it, but for the most part, it felt very messy, I'd say. A lot of stuff felt out of character, and a lot of stuff just... I don't like where they're going with a lot of stuff. That's what I'm getting at. But yeah, tell me what you thought of NXT tonight. Do you think it was better than I thought it was? Just let me know. So leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm sending love to all around the world, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.